Saturday the 29th of April, and welcome to our Saturday evening news programme, coming to you live from the heart of Wyke Regis. And in the news this week, Dorset remains the 6th safest area in the country after experiencing a rise in crime markedly lower than other parts of England and Wales. The Office for National Statistics released data on Thursday the 27th of April, which shows that overall crime rose by 3.7% in Dorset during the 12 months to the 31st of December 2022. This increase is significantly less than the national average of 8.5% and puts Dorset as the 6th safest area in the country. A rise in crime was expected, in part due to these statistics being compared to the same time in 2021, when crime fell as a direct result of the national and regional COVID-19 lockdowns. During this latest period, public order incidents fell by 6.9% compared to a national rise of 2.8%. Racially or religiously aggravated offences saw a significant reduction of 21.7% during this latest period compared to the national decrease of 2.4%. It is also encouraging to see burglaries involving businesses and community premises have reduced by 6.3% compared to a national increase of 16.9%. Like other areas of the country, the force in Dorset has seen an increase in some crimes. Violence against the person increased by 2.5% in Dorset, lower than the national increase of 5.1%, while violence and injury rose to 2% compared to the national rate of 8.3%. Reports of sexual offences rose by 6.9%, closely in line with the national rate. This increase can be attributed partly to a boost in confidence of victims choosing to report matters to Dorset Police. In contrast, reports of rape offences reduced to 2.3% compared to the national rise of 3.7%. Now, Dorset dog owners are being warned about a very serious condition for dogs which is spreading fast and can be deadly. There have been 15 cases of lungworm reported in Dorset, including in South Dorset in the Dorset and Weymouth area. Lungworm can be fatal to dogs, with around 95 of those who get infected, around 9% of those that get infected dying. The disease seems to be spreading throughout the UK at the current time. Now, lungworm is a parasite and it's spread by dogs and foxes and can be transmitted by snails and slugs through contact with dog faeces. The symptoms are in the dogs, this is not the snails. The symptoms are coughing, a change in breathing, going off food, vomiting and upset stomach, tiredness, pale gums or bleeding gums, and excessive bruising. Prevention is regular worm treatment, picking up dog faeces quickly so the larvae don't get transferred by the slugs and snails, removing toys and bowls from gardens overnight, and changing dogs' water in their water bowls regularly. So do take care of your dogs and watch out for that lungworm. Of course, the advice is, if you are concerned about your dog at any time, do get the advice of a vet. To celebrate 5 years since opening, the Shire Hall Museum in Dorchester is offering a special entry offer to visitors on Monday the 1st of May. That's this Monday coming up. Shire Hall Museum brings over 200 years of history to life with interactive galleries, immersive cells and the impressive historic courtroom. There is something for everyone at the museum. On Monday the 1st, to celebrate 5 years since the museum opened its doors to visitors, adult day tickets to the museum will be just £5 and children get in free. Shire Hall holds an important place in the history of Dorset and nationally. During its time as Dorset's courthouse, Shire Hall saw everything from the 1834 trial of the Tolpuddle martyrs to the 1856 trial of Martha Brown, who it is said inspired Hardy's to write Tess of the D'Urbervilles, as well as child perpetrators and American GIs tried during the Second World War. Nina Corey, who's the director at Shire Hall Museum, said everyone at Shire Hall Museum is excited to be celebrating our 5th anniversary. So much has happened in the 5 years since we've opened, with a lot of challenges being thrown our way. Our incredible team of staff, volunteers and trustees have worked hard to steer the museum through difficult times and get us where we are today. Now, the Shire Hall Museum first opened on the 1st of May 2018 following extensive restoration work in the building. As part of the development project, extensive work was done to ensure the accessibility of the museum for all visitors, with lift access running throughout the entire building. Now, for more information about visiting the museum, go along to their website, shirehalldorset.org. shirehalldorset.org. Now, Portland Port has seen its largest number of passengers on one cruise ship in one day this week, with 5,000 passengers coming into port on the MSC Virtuosa that you can see on the screen now. The previous maximum number of passengers on one cruise was 3,500. The MSC, I'm going to get that wrong every time I say it, the MSC Virtuosa is just one of 18 cruise liners that will come into Portland Port between now and the end of May. And this year, Portland Port will see cruise liners bring in around 130,000 passengers into Portland. When the cruise liners come in, a fleet of coaches ferry them into Weymouth and other local places of interest. So they do bring a lot of people and a lot of business into the town. Now, more than 75,000 people in Dorset are eligible for a COVID-19 booster jab this spring, and appointments are available to book now. Over 75s, people aged 5 and over who have a weakened immune system, and older adult care home residents are all entitled to a free vaccination to protect themselves from the virus. Dorset's vaccination teams have begun administering spring booster doses at clinics across the county, with appointments available through April, May and June. Eligible residents will receive a message from the NHS reminding them to book an appointment via the National Booking Service or by calling 119. And if you think you should be eligible for a vaccine but have not been invited to have a jab, you can check online or self-declare via the National Booking Service. Excuse me. If an appointment isn't available locally, please check where the vaccination centres are on www.dorsethealthcare.nhs.uk/COVID-19 vaccination service and try again at a later date. There's constantly additional appointments being added to the schedule all the time. Now, Paul Bolton, Clinical Service Manager for the Dorset COVID-19 Vaccination Service, said appointments are bookable across the county at more than 30 clinics in community hospitals, pharmacies and some GP surgeries. Eligible residents will have easy access to the latest vaccine at a local clinic near them. We have capacity for everyone, and they have until the 30th of June to get a jab, so there's no need to rush, but it is important to book in advance. For further information on vaccinations, please visit nhs.uk and search for vaccinations. If you do not have online access, then you can call 119, that's the COVID-19 vaccination helpline, where you will receive support and help to book an appointment. Now, taxi licensing has been toughened up to protect passengers across England. New measures will safeguard passengers and crack down on unfit taxi and private hire vehicle drivers, with tighter checks introduced across local authorities. Building on existing legislation, councils in England will now be mandated to use a national database to record instances where taxi and private hire vehicle drivers have their licences removed for misconduct. The new law will prevent them from simply reapplying for a licence in other areas by alerting the system to concerns about their prior behaviour. This will ensure passengers can use taxis and private hire vehicles with greater confidence that these modes of transport are safe, helping to strengthen communities and restore pride in towns and high streets across the country. While the vast majority of taxi and private hire trips are safe and efficient, there have been a small number of reports linking a minority of drivers to incidents of sexual harassment, abuse and poor driving. The step will bring into full force the Taxi and Private Hire Vehicles Safety and Road Safety Act 2022 and is being backed by the family of Sian O'Callaghan, who was tragically murdered by a private hire vehicle driver in Swindon in 2011 when she was aged 22. Her family have since been campaigning for tougher measures to protect passengers. From the 27th of April, the use of the database will be compulsory for every driver licence application, and the Department of Transport will monitor its use closely. Councils that fail to do the necessary checks could face legal action. Good news there for taxi and private hire users. Now, Round 4 of the Household Support Fund will reopen for applications at 9 o'clock on this coming Wednesday, the 3rd of May, and this is for low-income households in the Dorset Council area. The support will be in the form of supermarket vouchers. Citizens Advice will be allocating this fund on behalf of Dorset Council, and vouchers will be issued to residents who meet the eligibility criteria within 6 to 8 weeks. Dorset Council households will be able to apply if they have an annual household net income of less than £30,000 and savings of less than £16,000 and have not applied for a previous HSF payment within the last 6 months. Now, if you do miss out on this May window to get these vouchers within May, another one will open on the 6th of June 2023 at 9 o'clock. Now, applicants need help. Applicants need to complete a form. If you need help completing the form, you can telephone customer services at Dorset Council on 01305 221 000 or visit a customer access point. And I think in Weymouth there's one at Weymouth Library, if I remember. But Citizens Advice are going to be administering that scheme, so make contact with Dorset Citizens Advice. Now, on the 26th of April, the government announced the National Police uplift figures. Dorset Police has surpassed the target originally set by government and now have more than 1,440 police officers serving the residents and communities of the county. Back in 2019, the government announced plans to recruit an additional 20,000 police officers across England and Wales by the end of March 2023. And as part of that programme, Dorset was set a target to recruit 166 new officers. Dorset has gone on to overachieve its target, and now there are 174 new recruits that have joined Dorset Police over the last 3 years. Now, staying with Dorset Police, officers investigating an incident where a man sustained serious injuries in Weymouth Town Centre are appealing for witnesses or anyone with dashcam footage to come forward. Dorset Police received a report from the ambulance service at 7:37 on Thursday the 27th of April of a man requiring medical assistance at Western Bridge. That's 7:37 p.m, I should have said, in the evening. A man requiring assistance at Western Bridge. The ambulance service had been alerted to the incident at 7:21 p.m. Officers attended and located a man aged in his 40s with injuries to his head and face. He was taken to hospital for treatment. An investigation is underway to establish the full circumstances of the incident. Now, Police Constable Fiona Napier of Weymouth CID said this incident left a man hospitalised and we're determined to find out what happened. If you have any information for Dorset Police at all on this, or of course any other crimes or incidents, do give them a call on 101, or give them or you can call Crime Stoppers anonymously on 0800 555 111. That's so direct to Dorset Police on 101 or via Crime Stoppers anonymously on 0800 555 111. The latest round of the Capital Leverage Fund, which is managed by Dorset Council, is now open and welcoming applications from projects which will provide new and improved facilities for communities and residents across the county. The grant can help towards the cost of community building enhancements, renovations, maintenance or new build projects including car parks, play areas, moogers, that's a sort of a multi-surface sports facility, pitches and landscaping. Voluntary and community sector organisations with an annual turnover of less than 1 million can apply, as well as museums, art organisations, community centres, village halls, town and parish councils and youth centres. We also welcome applications for projects that help to address climate change themes, new public art or heritage capital projects, including accredited museums. You can apply for a capital grant of between £1,000 and £25,000 to fund up to 20% of your total project costs. Projects need to meet one of Dorset Council's priorities and at least one of their cultural strategy priorities. Applications can only be accepted via an online application, and you can find out about eligibility and how to apply on the Dorset Council website. Concerns about loss of fundraising opportunities due to COVID led to the Dorchester and District Christian Aid Group to produce a recipe book called Cooking for Life. And the book, which includes more than 100 recipes from congregation members across Dorchester and further afield, has now raised £5,000 for the charity. Co-author Tony McDougall said the book was a real opportunity for people to give their support to a charity that works constantly with the most marginalised in society. As part of King Charles III's coronation celebrations, the Lugger Inn in Chickerell have decided to join the Big Help Out. That's the initiative that's happening on Bank Holiday Monday, the week after next, the 8th of May, by launching their Life and Soul Community Trust. The intention of the trust is to provide support to those within the local community, whether monetary or otherwise, to bring happiness to others, promote well-being and nurture a strong community spirit. The Lugger Inn, the Life of Soul of Chickerell. Liam Coles, owner of the Lugger Inn, said, "We are excited to launch our new community trust. In 2022 we were proud to win the Pub of the Year competition with the Dorset Echo, and we really wanted to give something back to our patrons. The well-being of our customers, family and friends is very important to us, and we wanted to formally set out our intentions to the community. We are now looking for volunteers to help with the community trust and to make a difference to our local community. Volunteers can maybe share a cup of tea, do a bit of shopping, or simply have a chat with their fellow neighbours." The Community Trust launch event will be held on Saturday the 27th of May, when the group will be hosting a day at the races, where local businesses will be able to sponsor horses and races, and customers will be able to dress up for a day at the races and place bets on favourite horses. All proceeds on that day will go towards the trust. The local offer is taking place. The local offer live is taking place between the 15th and 26th of May, and will feature a range of virtual events, activities, performances and workshops for parents, carers of children and young people with special educational needs or disability, providing greater awareness of the local opportunities that may be available to them. The 2-week programme has been created in partnership with Dorset Council, NHS Dorset and Dorset Parent Carer Council, and full event booking details can be found on Facebook by searching for Dorset Parent Carer Council. That's Dorset Parent Carer Council on Facebook. So if you have a disabled child or a child with special educational needs, do pop along to that and maybe get involved in one of the roadshows, either in person or virtually, to learn about what is on offer for you and your children. That's right, Dorset. The programme will feature a variety of events at all locations across Dorset, beginning with a supported internships roadshow on Wednesday the 17th of May in Dorchester, when a transition roadshow on Thursday the 18th of May in Wimborne, followed by a creativity showcase on Saturday the 20th of May, which will involve the latest music technology. There will also be local offer locality roadshows visiting Wimborne, Sturminster Newton, Purbeck and other venues, when you can meet your local teams and find out more of the services and support available. Now, Tuesday the 18th of April saw the official opening of a new purpose-built accommodation in Weymouth, which will provide homes for up to 12 young people leaving care. Young people will be able to stay there for up to 2 years to help them to get ready for living more independently, and the property will be supported by professionals from Dorset Council's Care Leavers scheme, as well as 2 peer landlords who live at the property. Now, you can see in the picture there peer landlord Shay, who took part in the official ribbon cutting ceremony and said at the time, "The building is wonderful and well located. So far I have been really happy living here and my job is going well." As well as having responsibility for the normal day-to-day jobs, like helping people with questions, sorting out fire alarms and making sure people take the bins out, I also get to support the people living here. My role allows me to be a helping hand, but I also get to check in with them, lend my support and make sure they're doing okay. Now, more information on the support available for Dorset Care Leavers can be found on the Dorset Council's website. Again, you can search for Dorset Council local offer for care leavers. There is still time to get involved with the Community Expo in Weymouth, and you could apply for a stall at this year's Community Expo event. Following on from the success of last year's first event, Weymouth Town Council's Community Expo returns in May at the town's iconic Jubilee Clock. The event is a twist on the council's annual town meeting, highlighting the work of voluntary and community groups in the town, and also provides an opportunity for residents and visitors to find out more about council services and projects, and how you can get more involved in the decision-making process. There will be a chance to meet the newly elected Mayor of Weymouth and the formal annual town meeting itself at 1 p.m, at the Town Council stand. If you're a local charity or community group who would like to take part and run a stall at the free event, then Weymouth Town Council would love to hear from you. And you have got until Friday, this coming Friday, the 5th of May, at midday to let them know. Now, the event is on the 20th of May, Saturday the 20th of May, from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Jubilee Clock in Weymouth. And say, if you want to have a stand there, if you're a community group or charity, you need to be in touch with the Weymouth Town Council by this Friday, the 5th of May at midday. And the way to get in touch is to email them at events@weymouthtowncouncil.gov.uk. That's events@weymouthtowncouncil.gov.uk. And finally, in our headlines tonight, grants to help communities have been approved by Weymouth Town Council's Finance and Governance Committee this week on Wednesday, the 26th of April. They have approved 3 grants. The first one going to God's Green Fingers. It's a voluntary project at Tumbledown which aims to create and develop more growing space to provide 50% more healthy natural food and flowers to local food banks and distributors to vulnerable people locally, such as the Nest. God's Good Fingers, or God's Green Fingers, also wish to purchase seating for their quiet space to enable elderly and or vulnerable people to sit at Tumbledown and enjoy their surroundings. They've been awarded £500 by the Town Council. Weymouth Food Bank wish to buy fresh fruit and vegetables for a 6-month period from the 1st of March. This will be distributed at their food bank locations to supplement the tins and packets they distribute. The council have awarded them £2,700. And Dentaid, the dental charity, is a carefully designed, innovative organisation where they operate from a mobile dental unit, visiting locations where their patients feel comfortable and safe. The project will focus on providing oral healthcare and advice in Weymouth with the mobile dental unit based at the Lantern Trust. The funding will go towards 4 clinics next year, and they have been rewarded with £2,500. Now, if you're interested in the grants or receiving a grant, then do go along to weymouthtowncouncil.gov.uk and search for grants available for local organisations. Now, that's the end of our headlines tonight. Now, this week's first piece sees us hearing from Wayne at Everything Dorset. We haven't heard from Wayne for a while, and it gives us an insight into a local business based in Dorset, I think it's in Brewery Square, called FITT Chiropractic. Of course, going to the chiropractor is something, unfortunately, as we get older and get injuries, it's something we need to do. So here we go. We'll go over to Wayne and hear what he's got to say with Annabelle from FITT Chiropractic.
Hello, this is Wayne from Everything Dorset, and today I'm in Dorset at Brewery Square, and I'm here at Fit Chiropractors. I'm with the owner Annabelle, and she's going to tell us about her business here. So, Annabelle, how long have you been in business in Dorset for?
So we opened in September 2020, just after the pandemic hit, so yes, it's like almost 3 years now.
Excellent. So really nice swish premises you got here. So have you got a big team working here?
Yeah, we are 11 of us in total. So we've got a combination of 4 chiropractors, we've got sports physio, does a lot of the exercise therapy based stuff. We've got a hypnotherapist, CBT, which is cognitive behavioural therapy, which as well she's a counsellor as well. And we've got an ear practitioner, so he does a lot of like wax removal from the ears and ear hearing screenings, as well as we've got a sports masseuse. So yeah, we're a good sort of multidisciplinary team.
Fantastic. So do you need to do sort of, obviously doing things for the body, do you do things for the mind here as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So Paula is our counsellor, many years, 20 plus of experience in working with mental health. She was a previous mental health nurse for the NHS. So yes, we definitely have a nice versatile group of us.
Excellent. And what sort of licensing do you need to run a business like this? Have you got years and years of experience?
Yeah, absolutely. So in order to be a chiropractor, you've got to be, in order to call yourself a chiropractor, we're governed by the GCC, which is our chiropractic governing body. And it does require a master's degree in undergraduate in health science, and then following through that chiropractic specific degree, which we all have. And yeah, absolutely many years of education to qualify.
Excellent stuff. So in terms of people coming to see you, customers, is it for all ages? Do you have young people, old people?
Yeah, so we treat babies as young as days, weeks old. So if they're born like ventouse or breech and have problems even latching on breastfeeding, we can treat the neck and we can help with that, as well as postnatal mums and prenatal. So we can treat women in pregnancy up to the last few days before they deliver. So yeah, we teach children, teenagers, particularly in this day and age with posture and devices. I mean, my oldest is 90, so yeah, it's all ages.
Amazing,
yeah,
great stuff. And in terms of sort of booking and things like that, do you need a doctor's referral to come here, or can you just make an appointment?
No, no need for a doctor's referral. Obviously, if there's any specific condition that you have, like you've had spinal surgery in the past, or if you have like spinal stenosis and you're particularly aware of a condition that you might have, we obviously recommend that you bring any documentation with you. We can liaise with your GP as well, so we can always get information if we need to with your consent. But no, straight in for your initial assessment, and then we can go from there.
Okay, so your initial assessment, so how would you go about it? Would you go online and book it, or phone you? How did it
Yeah,
normally
so we have a brilliant online booking system. You can book online and get yourself booked at any point with any one of your practitioner of choice, or you can phone us here at the clinic, and we can get you booked in straight away for the initial.
Amazing. And do you work with any sort of local teams or anything like that? The problems they might have?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're very supportive of all teams in the Dorset region. We work with football teams, various ones, powerlifters, we work with bodybuilders, and very supportive of different charities in the community. A lot of golfers. We work with the local golf Game Down, Weymouth Golf Club. So we're very supportive of teams, sport therapy.
Excellent. And one last question, who's your friend to your left?
My friend, this is Frankie. He's been with me since before I graduated actually. I learned on him many moons ago. We won't say how long ago. But yes, he's brilliant. He's our mascot, and we dress him up depending on the occasion. So Halloween, he was a scarecrow last year. He was Santa at Christmas. So yeah, we dress him up. He's our mascot. So if you see him in the window, he's always in the window. You know you're here in Dorchester.
Excellent. And will he be dressing up for the coronation?
Yes, absolutely.
A crown on his head?
Absolutely.
Excellent. Well, it's been lovely speaking to you today, and I wish you all the best of luck with your business.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you very much to Wayne and Annabelle from FITT Chiropractic. And if you want to learn more about what they're doing, it's www.fittchiropractic.co.uk. And if you're up in Dorset around Brewery Square, do look at their window and see if was it Frank the skeleton there is going to be dressed up for the coronation. Now this weekend obviously we are hearing more about strikes within the NHS, and nurses strike again being on tomorrow, and this time it's affecting services that have previously not been affected, such as A&E and intensive care and those sorts of things. And so now we're going to hear from Sue Sutton, who's the Deputy Chief Operating Officer from NHS Dorset, about using the correct services at this particularly difficult time.
Our priority is to make sure you and your loved ones get the right care when you need it. During the next few days of industrial action, we are expecting fewer nurses to be working. This means it is more important than ever that you know which is the right service for you if you are unwell. Pharmacists are experts in medicines and can help with minor health concerns like coughs, colds and rashes. Your GP practice is the main point of contact if you are unwell. They have a range of staff who can help you if you are worried about your health or have any ongoing health issues. If you have a more urgent health need or you're not sure where to go, you can use 111 online or call them directly via 111. Anyone who needs life-saving care should always dial 999 or go to their local hospital emergency department. Choosing the right service at the right time means staff working during the industrial action can treat those who need it most. You can find out more about our services and how they can help you at staywelldorset.nhs.uk. Thank you.
Thank you very much there, Sue. And that website is www.staywelldorset.nhs.uk, and it brings all that information about NHS services across Dorset together and tells you, where pharmacies are and how to get help from pharmacies and when you should use 111 and 999. But those are the two main numbers. If you need urgent advice, 111. If it is a dire life-saving emergency, then as ever, it is 999. Now it's that time in the programme where we hear from our regular contributor Andrew Wright for this week's film review and preview.
Welcome to Wyke Regis TV film review and preview. I'm Andrew Wright. This week, the action movie Plane was released on home video. The film stars Gerard Butler and Mike Coulter and revolves around Butler's airline pilot teaming up with Coulter's extradition prisoner as they try to rescue plane passengers taken hostage after their plane went down in hostile territory. The film was a small box office success when it was in cinemas. Now I checked this out because I'm a fan of Gerard Butler action films, and I found that this film was surprisingly enjoyable. Butler had this great chemistry with the lead cast, and the film has some great action pieces. So I gave this film 4.5 stars out of 5. A sequel is currently in development with Mike Coulter in the lead role. This week at CinemaCon, a trailer for the next Hercule Poirot film, A Haunting in Venice, was released. The film is directed by and stars Kenneth Branagh as the titular detective and revolves around Poirot, retired in Venice but steps back in to solve a murder at a séance that he attends. The film also stars actors Jamie Dornan, Tina Fey and Michelle Yeoh in central roles. The film is the sequel to 2017's Murder on the Orient Express and 2022's Death on the Nile. Now, this initial teaser trailer gave me plenty of reasons to be excited because the trailer showed off a very horror-oriented direction for this film, complete with jump scare moments and all. The film is in cinemas this September, courtesy of 20th Century Studios. Also released at CinemaCon this week was the trailer for The Equalizer 3, the third and potentially final film in the Equalizer film series starring Denzel Washington. Washington stars as retired government assassin Robert McCall, who goes to southern Italy to reconcile with the things he has done, only to find the local area and his new friends are under the control of the local mafia, forcing McCall to step up as his friend's protector. Now, I'm interested in this film because of having seen the last two films, even though I felt that they were mediocre, and I'm a fan of the Queen Latifah TV show. And this film is being billed as the final chapter of the film. I guess it's a trilogy now. So this film is in cinemas in September, courtesy of Sony Pictures releasing, and it's going to be full of lots of blood and action like a John Wick film. Another trailer released at CinemaCon was the second trailer for The Flash, a superhero film starring Ezra Miller as Barry Allen, a police forensic investigator from Central City, and a member of the Justice League who can move at superhuman speeds using the Speed Force. The film revolves around Barry travelling back in time to stop his mother's murder, trapping him in an alternate reality without metahumans and having to team up with his younger self, Michael Keaton's Batman, and the Kryptonian castaway Supergirl in order to save the world from a restored General Zod. Now, this film is being widely praised by new studio head James Gunn, as well as people who saw the in-progress cut at CinemaCon, but based on both trailers, I'm convinced that the movie is going to be a disaster. The film is in cinemas on June 16th, courtesy of Warner Brothers Pictures. That's all I have for this week, but be sure to check back next week where I will preview Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Now back to Gary in the studio.
Thank you very much, Andrew. And good news of a new Hercule Poirot film in the offing. Lots of people like those sort of murder mysteries, don't they? And Andrew there mentioned the trailer for The Flash, and now The Flash is out in cinemas in the UK from the 15th of June from Warner Brothers Pictures, and we have got that trailer for you now.
I lost my parents. That pain made me who I am. I spent a lifetime trying to right the wrongs of the past. As if fighting crime would bring my parents back. You actually did it.
I can't imagine what you've been through.
I love you, Monkey.
You lost both parents in one day.
Barry! Call 911 now!
I went back in time to save my parents. But instead, I completely broke the universe.
If you went back and changed the past, this world must die.
You changed the future.
Do you know what this symbol stands for?
Means hope, right?
I will help you fight God.
You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
I have to undo what I did.
These scars we have make us who we are. I'm not meant to go back and fix them. Don't let your tragedy define you.
What did you do?
No matter what we do, we're not going to be able to fix this. No! Nobody dies!
You're strapped to your parachutes.
Where's yours?
There we go, that's The Flash in cinemas from the 15th of June, and it's from Warner Brothers. And we'll be back to Andrew next week. Now, let's see what the weather has in store for us this weekend as we go to the Met Office for our national weather forecast, which this week is presented by Marco Patagna. If I can find it, hang on, Marcus, here we go.
Hello and welcome to your latest weather update from the Met Office. We'll see a mixed bag of weather across the UK through this bank holiday weekend. Some sunshine, some showers, and feeling fairly warm when the sun comes through. The reason for the mixed conditions is down to the fact we've got high pressure towards the east of the UK, lower pressure out toward the west. That's giving us light winds, a slight pressure gradient across the UK, but hence those showers developing at times too. The focus for the worst of the showers this afternoon, heavy, locally thundery downpours across Northern Ireland, parts of Wales and the northwest of England. Whereas down towards the south-east of England, up towards the far north-east of Scotland, here we'll see the best of the sunshine. Quite chilly though out towards the north-east, no better than 6 or 7 degrees across the Northern Isles into Aberdeen. Whereas down towards the south and south-east, a bit warmer, temperatures into the mid to high teens, could even squeak at 20 degrees across the south-east. That's a few degrees above the seasonal average. As we go into the evening and through the overnight period, those showers continue out towards the west and become a bit more widespread across northern and western parts of the UK. Still some heavy, locally thundery downpours to contend with. Whereas down towards the southeast and up towards the far northeast of the UK, here we'll see some clear spells mixed with low clouds, some clear spells and a bit of mist and fog. But under those clear spells towards the southeast, temperatures dipping to around 6 degrees and notably chilly up towards the northeast of Scotland. Could even see a touch of frost here by Sunday morning with lows close to freezing. As for Sunday itself, those showers will get going across northern and western parts from the word go, and they'll become a bit more widespread across northern and western areas as we go through the day. Again, some heavy, locally thundery downpours developing, particularly across Northern Ireland as we head into the afternoon. Whereas down towards the southeast and for a time up towards the northeast, we'll see some sunshine. But generally speaking, it will be the southeast that holds on to the best of the fine weather. And here temperatures climbing quite nicely once again into the high teens Celsius, 17, 18, locally 19 degrees. Whereas towards the northeast, it stays chilly at just 6 or 7 Celsius. As we go through the evening, those showers start to make their way eastwards across the UK. So I think some showers working their way into the southeast, whereas out towards the west and northwest, they'll start to ease down through Sunday evening. And that takes us into a pretty showery picture on Bank Holiday Monday in the east and southeast of the UK. Some locally heavy downpours across the east and southeast. Some showery rain across the far north of Scotland, but elsewhere, plenty of fine weather to contend with. That's pretty much it for me, but I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Marco, for the National Weather Forecast and looking at what the weather has in store for us this coming week. The good news is there's a few less blue raindrops this week. So it looks like we might get some showers tomorrow, but Bank Holiday Monday looks like it will be dry and sunny spells and maybe a bit overcast throughout the week, but certainly some dry days. So let's keep our fingers crossed for Bank Holiday Monday, and quite mild, but those temperatures can still drop at night time as ever. So if you've got plants out in the garden or in the greenhouse, just make sure that they're going to be warm enough at night. Moving to our What's On, Weymouth Pavilion, the complete works of William Shakespeare is on the 4th of May, that's this coming week. 5th of May, the Eurythmics Experience. 6th of May, the Sensational 60s Experience. Then turning to the following week, 11th of May, the New York Bee Gees. 12th of May, Genesis concert. 13th of May, a tribute to Amy, that's a tribute to Amy Winehouse. And 19th of May, the Bowie Experience. As ever, box office online is weymouthpavilion.com or on the telephone 01305 783 225. Now, next weekend sees the coronation weekend, and in Wyke Regis here we have the big coronation celebration on Sunday the 7th of May from 12 noon to 5 p.m. in the grounds of All Saints Church, Wyke Regis. It's an event for the whole community. Entry to the event is free. There will be brass band, there will be a barbecue, a bar, teddy zip wire, tower tours, church tours, and quizzes and competitions. There's a make your own crown competition with prizes, and of course everybody's welcome to come wearing appropriate costume if they wish. The only things that are charged for are like the zip wire, etc., but you can book places for the tower tours and the church tours. They're £5 a head, and you can book those online at www.parishofwykeregis.com/events. As we say, access to the grounds are free, and you'll be able to buy a beer or a hot dog or whatever, or bring your own picnic and just have a sit there and listen to the brass band. The Nothe Fort. This weekend it's Art at the Nothe Fort, a pop-up Artway event. Next weekend they have their Coronation Festival from the 6th to the 8th of May. On the 13th and 14th of May their classified bunker is open again for guided tours. And on the 10th of June, 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. they have a silent disco. And there is much ado about nothing presented by This Is My Theatre on the 2nd of August at 7 o'clock. And as mentioned last week, there's a car boot sale being organised in aid of Weymouth Lifeboat at Bagwell Farm on Sunday the 14th of May. Pitches are £5 for cars. For more information, search for Bagwell Farm Car Boot Sale on Facebook. The next thing coming up for Arts Reach is Living Spit, presenting One Man and His Cow. That starts on the 12th of May. More details on the Arts Reach website, artsreach.co.uk. Regular church services in Wyke tomorrow, 8 o'clock at All Saints Church, 9:30 at All Saints Church, and 11 o'clock at St Edmunds. And of course, our quiz programme is on tonight at 7:30, with the stream going live about 7:20 to make sure that you can find it and get yourself comfortable. That is open to anyone, it's free of charge, and all are welcome to join us for our regular Saturday night quiz. Now, looking at traffic and travel, there are planned engineering works in the Castle Carey area this weekend, and that is affecting GWR train services. The good news is that the only trains stopping at Castle Carey on that line are the ones from Weymouth, and that will be the case from the 30th of April through to Wednesday the 3rd of May. Now, also, GWR are laying on an extra lot of trains next weekend for the King's coronation. They are putting more trains on. They think that a lot of people will be going to London. They're expecting 1.2 million people to line the streets of London on Saturday the 6th. Interestingly, South West Railways are not laying on any extra trains. They're just doing their regular Saturday service. But the general advice is to travel early. Services could be very, very busy, So if you are going off to view the coronation in London, to line the streets, travel early to be sure of getting a place. On this weekend through to the 1st of May, on South West trains, there are bus replacement services again in the Reading, Woking, Basingstoke, Andover and Winchester area, so you may have to hop off and use a bus. Roadworks in the area, still the works going on at Gloucester Mews behind the seafront. Roadworks likely to cause disruption, those with traffic lights or traffic control, coming up Wyke Road. Portland Beach Road this week will have roadworks with traffic control. The work at the junction of Lane House, Rocks Road and Fremantle Road carries on, currently notified until the end of May. And also works coming up on Radipole Lane and on various areas of Dorchester Road. So there we go. Now that brings us to the end of this week's programme. Thank you very much for joining me. Do keep in touch. If you're doing something for the coronation, do let us know. We would love to know. news@wykeregis.tv or any other fundraising events or any other community events coming up. Do let us know and we will share those with the people of Wyke, Weymouth and beyond. I hope you have a good weekend. The sun is still out here at 6:46 on a Saturday evening. Let's hope tomorrow isn't too bad and Monday is good as a bank holiday Monday as well. I hope you have a good week and I look forward to being with you next Saturday at 6 o'clock. Good night.